Hi, welcome to Joanna's DIY Life. I am glad you are here. This is a So It's Saturday video. Today we're going to be doing the cutest little vintage bunnies you have ever seen. So let's get started. These are the two patterns I have. And whoa, I am so bad about that. And I have vintage fabrics here, or these are vintage. These, you know, they look vintage. So anyways, I want to use these two for this. These two right here. So let me see what I got here, because I really don't know how much fabric I have. Okay, I got a pretty good chunk here. Okay, and I'm going to iron this to get all my creases out. I am going to take and I'm going to put right sides together. Okay, you'll want right sides together. I have also lost my little stinking snippy scissors. I mean, I got my snippy snippies, but my scissors like this that matched, I lost them. And I am praying, y'all, that I did not throw them in the trash. I'm going to pin this pattern down. So I am just going to put this bunny on this one and cut it out. And then I'm going to put this bunny on this one and cut it out. And I'll be back with you, okay? I just wanted to show you real quick that sometimes it's easier to hold the fabric than it is the pattern, and I never take mine off the table except in instances like this. And when you get your two pieces cut out, pin them together, and I'll meet you at the sewing machine. I'm going to do the hard one first, but we're going to leave the bottom open on all of these. Just a piece, you know, for turning, not the whole bottom, just a piece. So I'm going to start here, because I'm going to leave a space open. So your needle's all the way over to this side of your presser foot, okay? So we're just going to start straight stitch, back stitch, Alright, now this is where it gets a little tricky. So I'm just going to go slow, and I'm going to pull back and turn with my hand, okay? I hope I'm explaining this right. Okay, now I'm going to pivot. When I get to the end, or where that crease is, and then I'm just going to go around. You can also do a few stitches, pick your thing up, and then turn it. And then pick it up and continue to turn it. You can do it that way as well. When you get back, don't forget to leave your space there. And then that one's done, ready for turning. And I'm going to do the exact same thing to this one. Now what you want to do is you want to go in each place it has a notch, and you want to snip and snip around your curve. But you really want to snip those notches between the ears. Go around the ears. Don't clip your thread. Just barely clip. And get all of these notches cut so you can turn it, okay? It makes it a whole lot easier, and it won't pucker. People think they can skip this step, but it's really important. Now you just want to flip them inside out. And have your stuffing ready. I run my thumb all up in there, pinch my finger, usually my bad one, my middle one I mean, and shove my Little bad middle finger through there. I never flip it at anybody, y'all. Calm down. I am a good girl, okay? And then push all of your pieces out, and we'll have to poke them in a minute. I don't know why I said poke them like that. But anyway, whatever. You have to poke it. I can't even. You'll have to poke it out later, okay? Okay, so stick to the rescue. All right, so this right here, we're going to glue, or you can sew. But to make it easier, before I do anything to it, I'm going to iron this flat and press it. That way, I don't have to worry with it later. And it'll curl in where you sewed it. If you pull it tight, it'll just put it right where it needs to be. And there you go. Now, let me try to turn this thing. It won't go off. It's stuck. It never goes off. But anyway, let me get my stuffing, okay? Okay, I just pulled this mess out of my trusty pillow that I use. I want to tell you, when you start stuffing these, okay, you want these kind of firm. Start pushing all the way to the ears first, and make sure that you pack your ears, because you won't be able to get your ears later, okay? So start little and go all the way to the ears, and do that on both bunnies, because like I said, you won't be able to get back up there, okay? When you get to the end, don't just leave it empty. You know, you want to pack it in, stuff it full. Make sure you get in your little corners if you choose to do this little guy. Once you see it done, you might not want it your own self. But anyways, now that we're at the end, it like I said, you know, it was good that we already ironed this, so it's going to sit flat. Shove your stuffing in there. Hold tight right here. This makes it easier, okay? And I'm going to take a line of fabric hot glue. Now, you can use fabric tack, but that's what I did on a purple one. But you'll have to hold it there a good minute, because it takes a minute to seal. This, you just mush it. Don't burn your fingers like I am right now, because it hurts like I don't know what. But anyways, when you just smush your end together, and you're done. Now, if you want to, whatever, you can sew this if you want to. But anyway, that one's done. You can add buttons for eyes if you want to. I'm probably going to embellish it with something in a minute. But anyways, let me just get this one. Let me get this one sealed. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to smush, smoosh, smush, mush, mash, press together, shaking down, running over. Oh, never mind. Oh, that one looks good right there. Okay. We got fuzz coming out our hole. Nobody wants that. Okay, they're cute. I think I'm going to use this purple. This ribbon looks vintage too. I got a lot of vintage stuff. I get stuff give to me, you know. Now, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, okay? Let's choke it. Anyway, no, just kidding. Okay, there is a ribbon on this vintage bunny. I kind of think I like it without the ribbon. I got lace. I'm not even sure I'll like this lace. I'm just going to tie a bow on her and see what she looks like. Now, I think I actually like the lace one, but not that purple ribbon stuff. Now let me cut this. Aw, I like that one. That is so cute. It looks kind of shabby chic-y, if that's a word. Shabby chic-y. Anyways, yeah, no bow on him, her, it. There they are, okay? Let's move on to another thing, and don't laugh at me. I think my last one is going to be my favorite project, but y'all, this is fabric eggs that, like, bombed on me, okay? Like, I totally give up on these things. So I've done snowballs before, and I thought, how hard could this be after making these, you know, that you just make one end just a little bit smaller, but my little old brain just could not comprehend. But I finally came up with something, y'all. What you're going to do is you're going to take this, and I'm going to put it right sides together, okay? Now I'm going to fold it again, because you need 4 of these little pieces. Y'all, I got this thing figured out. Like, for real, I got this. So I've put mine on cardboard, and I'm just going to trace around this. Alright? And then I'm going to cut this out. Now you want this precise because it won't come out right if you don't. So there's my egg. I'm going to take a long needle, and I'm going to poke it in, and I am going to cut these out all at one time, okay? So this just makes it easier to me. If you want to leave this on paper and pin it down, that's great. And these are kind of small, but it's so pretty when you finally get an egg. It's really pretty, okay? And these are not hard, I promise. Okay, this is why I say this would be an excellent scrap buster. That's just my humor. Y'all overlook it. If you can't handle it, overlook it, okay? All right. So you have 4 of these. So I'm gonna pin them. And what you're gonna do is you're going to go over there with me, and I'll show you. That's what. You're just gonna go over there with me, and I'm gonna show you. So let's go. What you're gonna do is you're going to keep your needle over here as far as it'll go. And then you're going to start right at the top, okay? These are so easy. Start right at the top. Make sure they stay together. Start. These are easier than the bunnies, y'all. Go around. Go all the way to the end. And backstitch. And then cut or pull your fabric. My machine cuts it for me. I'm blessed, to say the least. But anyways, this one will anyway. Backstitch. Okay, now you have your 2 pieces, right? So you're going to take this piece and open it up. And it doesn't matter what the other side looks like. Now take your other piece. Oh my gosh, that's like duper close, ain't it? Sorry. And then put your 2 pieces. Wait a minute, I'm looking through my phone. Put your 2 pieces right sides together. So your seam you sewed would be on the outside. See, outsides. Put your top seam at your top seam and make sure that you have the top and not the bottom, because the bottom is a little smaller. So I'm going to start pinning all this together all the way around, making sure that it's even. So I'm going to line the bottom up with the top. I'm going to line the bottom and the top first. You don't line the bottom up with the top, because if you line the bottom up with the top, then you'll have it upside down and it won't be right. Okay. I'm just going to put a pin here to make sure nothing moves. I don't use clips because they're too clanky and hard to maneuver with something this tiny. But anyway, you'll want to leave an opening, so I'm going to start right here. And I'm going to go all the way around this, making sure that you're cupping it down. You see what I'm saying? That will make everything come out right. So let's see what we got. I think you're moving everywhere. So I'm not clipping nothing. I'm just going to flip it inside out. Well, I barely have room for my little thumb to go in there. I always use my thumb and my middle finger. It's just easier for me to turn it, y'all. Okay. Now these, you really want to pack tight. But I'm going to sew my edge. I'm not either. I'm going to iron my edge. Now, because this is rounded, you have to make sure you round it a little bit, or you'll have a flat side on your egg. I know what I'm saying. It's just not coming out my face hole right, y'all. I've had a long day. A very long day. All right, now let's commence the stuffing. This has no rhyme or reason. You do want to take little bits at a time, not big balls, trying to stick big balls of stuff in there. But this has to be packed firm, okay? Firm. Because the firmer it is, the better the shape will be, okay? I hope that makes sense. It's just, you have to pack it tight in there. Now, I don't know that my egg's ready, but I'm ready. I'm going to seal her shut. You can sew these, hand sew them, that's up to you. I don't want to. Now that's on my finger. Smush that in. Don't get glue everywhere like I am. It'll come together, and what don't, I can cut it off. That's the good thing about the glue. As long as you don't cut your fabric and your egg, you can cut your glue. I gotta bring this up to my face. Hold on. And it's so pretty. Look at it. I did another one right here. But how cute would these be in a basket? Squeeze your bottoms. Now it's formed a little more like an egg. This one, it really needs its bottom squeezed. Okay, now I'm fixing to show you my last DIY, which is gorgeous. It's sewing and crafting, but it's so cute. Now look, those are cute. Okay, this next one, I'm going to use rub-on transfers. I'm going to use one of these straight up pots. It came from the spring section. I got this last year, but I'm pretty sure I've seen them this year. I have this bunny thing that I put on cardboard, and I have this brown, it's kind of like muslin fabric. What you're going to do, you want right sides together, wrong side out. I'll get it right here in a minute. So it's easier to cut around this one when you draw, providing I find my pencil. So that's why I put it on cardboard. So I'm just going to draw around this. We're not cutting these out yet, okay? Because these are tiny. I'm going to sew them first, just because that's easier. So I'm going to use short pins, and I'm just going to pin these two arms, okay? And then I'm going to use my longer pins and pin my pin my rabbit. Sheesh. I'm going to do these this way. I'm telling y'all, I've had a rough day. You have no idea. My brain can't try to figure these things out like this. So I am going to cut this out. Just, you know, boxy cut, fussy cut. I don't know what you call it. Okay? So I'm going to go to the machine, and I'm going to follow these lines and stitch all the way around this. Stop, pivot where you need to, and I'll be right back. Okay, so it will look like this, and I do want to tell you that when I went around these curves, you leave these open and leave this bottom open, but when I went around these curves, I would sew a stitch, stop, lift my foot up, turn, sew a stitch or two, stop, and keep going till I got around the curve, because it was not enough for me to hang on to, and it was just easier to stop and just sew a stitch or two and then bring the foot up, turn it, and just go until I got around the curve. Hope that made sense, because I should have took you over there and showed you, but I didn't want to bore you to death. But anyways, you can hand sew these if you want to. I wouldn't glue them per se, but you can totally hand stitch around these things. So now you just want to cut close to it, but not the stitches, okay? But just cut. And then when you get to the top, cut straight across the top, but don't clip your stitches. That's very important. Don't clip your stitches, because then when you turn these, it will come undone. Flip this in to where it's the right side out. Now these ears gave me a butt ton of trouble earlier, because one ear went in just like this one did, went in the other ear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke through here and find my ears and pull them to the side so that I can go in and pull them through. I hope that these videos are making sense today, because I feel like I am everywhere with these things, y'all. Just everywhere. Poke your ear out. This one is going to be so doggone cute. Oh, I wasn't in the camera. For the love of Pete. Now do your hands, paws, whatever, the same way. Now this is truly important. Little bits at a time, because these ears are tiny. I done lost it. I got it. Now you want to shove that in, and honestly, a pencil eraser is great for pushing that down in there, because it grips it. You want to do the same to the other ear tip. If you don't get the tips of the ears, it ain't going to look right, y'all. It's going to look funny. Now, don't stuff these a lot. Just a little. You just want it a little puffy, because we got to do something. But we don't want this stuffed hard, okay? Not the ears part, anyway. The rest of her we can, but not the ears. See, it's just a little firming. That's it. You don't want a lot of firming in your hand either. Matter of fact, that's probably too much. You just want a little puffy down on the end. Just barely on the end. That's it. Because you won't be able to do what you got to do with it if you stuff it too big. You can't stuff the whole thing, just the paw. Okay, when you get this stuffed like that right there, I'm just going to take this, and my seam tried to come apart, and I'm just going to take my fabric glue, and I'm going to seal that shut. Okay, so I have blushes, and you can tell that's my favorite for doing stuff like this. So I'm just going to take this brush right here, and I'm going to put some blush on here, and I'm going to dab it on the ears. That simple. Just dab that blush on them ears and wipe it. Oh, it's cute already. Now I'm going to give it, hopefully, some pink cheeks. I don't know why it's not working. Okay. Pink cheeks. Oh, it's cute already. So now we got this like this. You're going to need some Sharpies, okay? And I also have a little Sharpie. Yeah, my little Sharpie. So what you're going to do, now you can sew buttons on here, but it's just as easy to do this. Put your 2 dots for your eyes. Alright, we're good there. Then take and draw out your face. Just make a J and then a backwards J. And then draw your whiskers. Dot, 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 whisker, whisker, whisker. How cute. I want eyebrows. I'm an eyebrow person. You may not be an eyebrow person. I'm an eyebrow person. Pink. Just a pink dot for the nose. And there you go. There's your little bunny bunny. Bunny bunny frou frou. Okay, we'll deal with these later. We're going to take this right here. And I want it to go this way. So I'm going to take this one, I do believe, and put on this right here. And I don't want to use any of these scissors. Okay, so here. All I'm going to do, this is a rub-on transfer that was at the Dollar Tree. Haven't seen them in a while, but they have other rub-on transfers. And these things are usually fun. They just come on this sheet right here. You take this sheet, you put it down on whatever you want it on, and then you rub it down. And then you have to take something and burnish it down. And a popsicle stick works great. Now, if these don't stick, okay, you peel it up easy. And if it doesn't stick, no problem. Smack it back down, rub it again. And it should pop up. Okay, let me see. So we start peeling back. Making sure you have no more color on this plastic sheet, okay? So far, so good. Whew! Y'all, I go super slow because it scares the bejeebies out of me that I'm going to mess it up. Okay. Now there's that. I don't know which way you can see it, but it's so cute. Take your hands. One should be going one way and one the other. I'm going to take his paw and I am going to glue right here. I hope this fabric glue works. And then I'm going to glue it all down the inside so I know it's not coming out. Alright, now at this point I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm going to draw lines in his paws, just a couple. Now we're going to take our little bunny. I'm going to put a little glue on his belly and push him up against the bucket there, okay? And that'll be fine there. If you want to leave it like that, that's up to you. I have a piece of pink ribbon, and I'm just going to tie it around the ears. I am just going to take some paper and shove down in here so that I don't, have to use so much moss. You can use a plastic bag. You can use whatever you want. Just as long, you can even shove it full of moss. That's up to you. It's yours. I just don't want to have to use that much moss. So I have reindeer moss here. And this stuff is so weird feeling. Oh my goodness, it is so weird. But anyways, I'm just going to put some glue in here just to make the moss stay. And put some on the back of the rabbit. There it is. That is my favorite. I love it. I love it. So that's it for our little vintage DIYs. And here's a final look at all of the vintage DIYs. And I love each and every one of them. Let me know what was your favorite. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to become part of my YouTube family. And ring that bell. And remember, you are a blessing. Until next time, goodbye.